Hello everyone, today we'll be talking about introduction to AWS Data Engineering. This is going to be a brand new topic for data engineers. This is the AWS cloud. And for the demo, we're going to be loading CSV on S3 to DynamoDB. And then let's just go ahead and do the presentation for now. So agenda is for you to create your sign up to AWS and to understand the builder ID and then console ID, and then if you need to sign up to AWS startup or yep. And then what are the topics for discussion for the data engineering? We'll be talking about S3, Lambda, DynamoDB, and then we'll be doing demo. So I hope it doesn't make this a very complicated introduction. So if you sign up to AWS, there are two accounts that you'll be going to create. They are not these are not dependent with each other, so you can create one. They're not dependent, so you can create it separately. So the builder ID is the one that you use for certification, for training, for learning, and promotion from the AWS, engaging the AWS community. You will be needing your builder ID. But to actually code in AWS web service, you need the console root account. So these are the link. I'm going to add that later. And yep. Let me just there are noise outside, so okay, so and then yeah, the builder ID is used for the learning and stuff and certification, and the console is used for the actual AWS cloud, or the that's where you do cloud computing. So just not to make you confused when you sign up, and then if you are an non-government organization or a startup, you can either join the Amazon startup and Amazon activate for, I think that's 100,000 US dollar credit. And then yep, and then when you sign up, there will be tasks that you need to do, and when you do that, you'll so these are the things that we are going to cover for this course. So we'll be talking about S3, Lambda, and DynamoDB. These are the data movement. We'll be using Glue, AWS Data Pipeline, Kinesis, Event Bridge, and Step Function for orchestration. And for core services, S3, yep, we already talked about that. For this databases that are available in Amazon, we'll be talking about Amazon RDS, Aurora Redshift, TimeStream, and Elastic Cache. For analytics and BI, the Amazon QuickSight, Glue, DataBrew, and OpenSearch, and CloudWatch logs for the insights. That's Amazon CloudWatch log insight. So that's the report for whatever is happening in your infrastructure. And then S3 is basically it's just a containers, like a file system. It's used to store object. It has unlimited scalability. It's serverless, right? You don't yeah. And then you can manage the access control. You can trigger events. You can put HTML and CSS into that, and it will have a link, and then it will become a website. You can have versioning. You have lifecycle policies, and then encryption. That's Amazon S3. The equivalent of that is a blob storage in Azure. If you've been watching my Azure training. And then it's used for data lakes, for analytics, backup, and archival storage, hosting static websites, storing log reporting, campaign data, integration with ETL, and yeah. For DynamoDB is the famous database of AWS. It's a NoSQL architecture. It's serverless. It's high availability. It automatically replicates data across multiple zone, on-demand or provision capacity, global tables, built-in security. Global meaning could be accessible anywhere in the globe, and then point-in-time recovery, and then streams for event-driven workflow. Lambda is the programming language that you will use with the DynamoDB. So there's no stored procedures in DynamoDB. Just to heads up if you're coming from SQL Server. So you are going to use Lambda to program against the objects in not only DynamoDB but the objects in Amazon Web Service. So it could be event driven, could be triggered. You can so this is also serverless, no server management. You just code and you don't need to bother the compute. That's auto scaling. And what else? Pay-per use. Multi-language, yeah, it supports Python, Node.js, Java, Go, .NET, Ruby, and custom runtimes. Secure by design, built-in monitoring, and then can do file processing and can be triggered by when you upload a CSV into S3. We'll be showing that in the demo hopefully. And then real-time data stream, schedule task. You can schedule it, or could be an IoT workflow based on your sensors. So if your sensor sends data to S3, then Lambda can be triggered. Again, if this will help you a lot, please feel free to donate to Aware IT or through my PayPal or GCash if you're coming from the Philippines. And I think that's all for now, and we're gonna jump into the demo immediately. So this is the Builder Center. So if you create an account here, you will have the Learn, you have Build and Connect, you have a lot of training there. And then this is the console login where you do the most of your development. This is this is the actual cloud where you do the coding, development. So the first thing in the demo is that I already created an we'll be talking about S3 bucket. So first, and just it's like a container where you can upload file. So we will create a bucket here, and it's general purpose. We'll call it over here IT test 02, right? And then bucket versioning, no, we'll disable that. We don't need that. You can add tag. It's for use for, let's say, it's developer bucket key. That's okay. We'll just take the default. And then, just create a bucket. And then once the bucket is created, we can now go inside that bucket and upload your data file. So since we're talking about data, we are going to upload some CSV here the products of our inventory, and I think it's done. And there you go, you have the products. It's very small, and you can we go there. Oh, you have not uploaded yet. Upload. Okay, so there you are. We uploaded a CSV, and we can actually browse the data from here and see what's in that CSV, right? So there is a link, and now we can see what's in the data. Anyway, I don't know why it didn't work. I haven't tried it anyway, so it's the first time I'm gonna try that. Okay, we have an access denied because I did not enable it to be viewed outside my AWS. Um, we can probably extend the permission and let it be viewed. I mean, just try the cooking show, and okay, it's basically secure. So that's the okay. It's access denied. We did not enable access outside, but anyway, we're good. I'm gonna show you what's in that CSV. So this is the CSV, that's product name, and the SRP, and then the units and everything. So I actually exported that from my lecture on inventory. Now we are able to load that. So basically you can load that into um, you can load files to your bucket. So S3, sometimes called S3 bucket or bucket for short. Hold on a second. Let me just minimize this. Are we going to exit the page or what? Okay, so we actually loaded the file here, right? I think my internet is going crazy. Hopefully, so we already have the product CSV. Now we're going to, before we go to Lambda, we'll go ahead and go to DynamoDB. So we click here. If you cannot find DynamoDB in your console the first time you use it, you can just do the search and type DynamoDB here, and it will show up. The once you use it, it will be available in here as the shortcut. Okay. Let's just go ahead and see. I think I already have tables, so let me just delete this for now and type confirm. So I think the very first exercise that you will be asked for is to load the CSV from the S3 bucket, and let's just wait for that too. And the first thing that you're going to do is to overthink of how you're going to do that, right? But you can actually load the CSV into your DynamoDB without doing AI, without the need of, so it's just codeless, and you can just import as many CSV without even defining the table in the DynamoDB. So that's the power of DynamoDB. You don't need to create a table first. what we're going to do, we're going to import that code list, and then just click on import from S3, and then import from S3, and then browse S3, right? And then this is the one that we create, and then yep, click on that. Oh, um, yeah, choose, and then can we create view, and then hold on a second, and then we can actually add the product CSV here. Hopefully it matches. It's very slow, and then no compression, and since that's a CSV file, it's going to need a primary key, I think, comma separated, and we're going to use the first line as the source of the fields, and we're gonna click next. Table name, it's going to products, and then it's going to be product ID will be our primary key, right? And we're gonna make it as a number, and then we'll just click next. So remember, we as of this point, we just point where the CSV is, and we're importing. We haven't created any table just yet. And then just click import, and now it's importing, and then we're gonna wait for that to happen, but it's going to take time. So let's go ahead and check on the other browser and go to DynamoDB. So we haven't written any code, just upload CSV, right click import that. We didn't even create the table, right? And now we have a table here that's called product, and it's creating the table for us. And all we need to do is reload that. I just don't want to disturb the process here, right? It's importing, and he said it's creating or reload. You know, it's loading the table. Oh, we're going to wait. Okay, so it's already completed, and once we have never written and script, just point and click, that's it. We're able to load the CSV into the into DynamoDB, and then we can explore table items, and it did not scan. I think it failed. It's still importing. Reload. No, okay, it failed. Let me just do that again behind the it failed because uh if we refresh this, it's gonna say that it's failed because I have the wrong URL for the file. But let me just do that again. Oh, it's completed. Okay. It doesn't say it did any failure. Did have any failure? So this is the products, and then view table details, and then view table items, explore table items, and then well, we're supposed to see the run everything. We're supposed to see the table items here, right? Let's just hold on a second. Index 0 application on demand, nothing in there. Run explore. Let's just explore table items. Okay, this is weird. We're supposed to be seeing it succeeded, right? So we're supposed to be seeing the content of the table if we explore that and query. Okay, and then run probably. Valid partition key. Oh, that's, I think that's optional. Let me find it out. So basically, I run the import again. So this is what I did. So basically, from DynamoDB, uh, I click on import from S3, and then import from S3, and then choose and browse, find the bucket, and then click on that, and then choose. Okay, and then it's going to go to test2, and then click on view, and then it's going to point you to the content of that bucket, which is the product CSV. What you're going to do is to get the actual oh uh I'm in a wrong word. The So you should be working on, yeah, I'm working on Singapore, and it's going to show you the products here, and I'm what I did is to get this and just copy that and then paste that to here, and then proceed with the import. And but I already did that, so behind the scene. So let's go back to DynamoDB now. um, Click on that, and yeah, it's going to be, so when we go to DynamoDB, we now have I now have the table. So we haven't written anything, we did not code. Hopefully it's there. Explore table items, and yeah, there it is. And you can actually sort, you can edit from here, and then you can filter, and You can update it as a UI for you. You don't even need to program a UI, so it's totally codeless. But this is, I think it yeah, you already have you have the data, you import Excel, you have the data, and then you have a UI to edit it. Like, that's inventory. I never use AI. I didn't use anything, and now I have the opportunity to edit my data, just like it is in my front end. I also have a front end with DynamoDB. So that I didn't write the table. I just export the CSV from my SQL application, load it, and now I can edit the data, which is amazing, right? And the schema here, it's not very strict. So the items can have varying fields. It might not have, for example, we can remove SRP for this item, and it, or we can remove the, let's say we don't need a supplier ID because we're the one creating it, and then this is product number 10. So if you explore the product and number 10, so it's not very strict about the the fields. Anyway, we can refresh. So so it could be JSON. uh, um so it's like Excel, you know. Excel, and then people just fill in whatever data they want because it's Excel. They can write any data, and then you can export it into import it into DynamoDB, and then load it just like that. Even just put it on the products item, and if it doesn't have this field, it will add that field into that table. So that's how powerful the DynamoDB is. Um, so that's one of the features. And then you can even select asterisk from products, right? And then that will give you the result of the query, so you can, oh no, it's like, is it capital or, yep, it did return number 10, order by, that's it. No, I didn't. Anyway, maybe that's the correct format. I don't know. Which is wrong. We'll try to must have where clause. Right. I don't know. Let's just go back to that. Let's discuss it later on. We'll talk about the particle editor later. That's not part of my script today. So we already talked about S3. You upload your data there, your CSV or whatever data is it that you have. Could be any format, it could be JSON, it could be XML, it could be anything. And then you can import that directly from DynamoDB using the import from S3. You didn't write any code, it will create a table for you. Okay. Now let's go to Lambda. Lambda is one of the powerful programming capability here in AWS. So for Lambda, I already created a cooking show, but we will create our own. So I created the load products and we'll create a function. Okay, and then we'll call it load products 2. And we can choose the language whatever we want. So you want to choose the 3.9 or yeah, 3.13 would be okay. And then choose the ARM64 because it's cheap. And then create a function. Now, when we create a function, it will create the service account, the security account that we need to run. But let me just paste the code first. So this is the code that we're going to use. I don't want to delve with this later, so you have to know Python. It loads the library for database. Like these are libraries for CSV, OS, and logging. So if it doesn't see the table product, it will create the table product, and if it's there, it's just going to load the table. So that's just the basic logic, and then the rest, it's around 10 lines of code, but it enable logging anyway. It's done by an AI, so I did not write that code, and that what it does. So let's just copy this code and let's go to the oh let's go to the code. That's load products 2. And we're gonna paste that code into the code editor, and then we're going to publish that. And we cannot run that because we have to grant permission to the account that's running it. Okay, so the internet is broken. Okay, test code. So this is the Lambda. It's the programming language. If you want to make yours make make it hard to yourself, then tell your boss and coding it when you actually like just point and click, load it to Lambda, and then you have the code editor. I want to code Lambda, I want to code Python to make it sounds like you cannot finish it in one day. Then by all means you can do that. And is acting out maybe. So again, if you cannot see Lambda, just on the click, just choose Lambda on the find button, and then you should be able to find it here. Like type Lambda in there, and then it should show you it will give you the interface for the Lambda. I think my internet has, yeah, let's hold on for a while. Okay, so finally I was able to load the interface. We are going to paste the code here. So when you create your first Lambda, it will have, you click on the code, you will have this some code, and then we're gonna paste the code that we have written already. So again, it will just import the interface, I mean import the libraries for OS CSV and logging, and then if it doesn't see the table product, it will create, and then it will start loading uh, the data from the uh, S3 bucket into the into the DynamoDB. Okay, so that's just the code. And then I'm gonna put that code in down below in the comment. So we're going to deploy the code now, and deployment is already in progress. Successfully uploaded. So it has been uploaded. Now what you can do is to test that. You can run test, but it will ask you for an event, and it's just crazy here, right? I don't know how that interface is working, but it's much faster here. So you create a test event, and then just save that, and then when we run this test, it's going to fail. It did succeed. Because no, it succeeded because it has the error handling, but did not actually load anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to DynamoDB, and we're going to table. I'm gonna delete this again. That's just we're not writing any table, and it's going to load it's going to load a CSV into that table with barely minimum lines of code. But before that, we can go ahead to the permission, which is the IAM, and behind the scene, when you created that Lambda, it actually created a resource for you. It created a role for you, and that's load product role 2. That's the role that was created by when you create load products 2. Now it don't have permission to uh, it doesn't have permission to read from S3, and then it doesn't have permission to write into your to your to your um so we're going to grant it an S3 permission. I'm gonna grant it an S3, and then I'm gonna add DynamoDB full access. Okay, so and then add the permission. Make sure we have the Amazon S3 full access, and then DynamoDB full access. So that was the role that was assigned to your Lambda. Okay. And then once it has already the permission, we can go ahead and let's just go ahead to DynamoDB. Just make sure that we don't have anything there. This is a very lengthy demo. So DynamoDB, it doesn't have anything in its table. Right? There's nothing there. Okay, now we're going to run this. again run test, and then it says it fails. Why? Because can we test again? Let me just close this test. It could probably be syntax error. No, it's already there. It says we are able to load DB. So when we go back to DynamoDB and then refresh that, uh, yeah, the internet is very slow. It will be there. It did load 30. Trust me, it load something into the database. The internet is horribly slow. Check. We're still running. uh, let's go to the open it in a new tab. I didn't do anything. So basically, I just ran the Python code that basically load the data from CSV. While it's doing that, let's just go back to this is the code. So I just load the libraries, and then a that's the pointer to where the S3 is loaded. We didn't write any permission here. Everything was managed by the role that was automatically created by when we create Python. So we just basically go ahead and create Lambda and do the coding, and that's it. And this is even written by an AI, so it just took me an hour to do this. And then what it does is, if it doesn't see the table, it's going to create it. The important thing that you need here is the ID. And then if it's already there, it's going to load everything from the pointer to our bucket, and the bucket is the S3 bucket, and the key is your file name, and then it starts loading directly without even using the data frame. So very simple, right? So we go back to the DynamoDB, and we're supposed to see that it already created the table for us finally there, the product, and explore table items. So it's just different because it has this ID, right? And then it has the original product ID there. But if we choose to modify the program, make it product ID, then it should be the same. So yep. So yeah, that's how easy it is to uh, load data from CSV to DynamoDB. You don't even need to write the table. You don't have any create script. If you look at this code, I don't have the create script for the table. I don't even have the data frame, which is the equivalent of the dataset in .NET. So it just load everything from CSV and then dump it to to DynamoDB and that's it. And then do the logging, tell me what's going on behind the scene, and then in the future we'll be analyzing the logs that we created. So just to recap, we talk about we talk about signing on to AWS. We talk about the builder ID, console ID. Those are independent of each other, so don't get confused if you're asked to create two accounts, and then the startup, you will need your builder ID there, and then you will link that to your console ID. If you're a startup, you'll have $100,000 for pre account to use AWS, and then we talk about the topic that we need to learn in engineering, the data engineering. I talk about the S3, which is the container which contains your CSV file when you upload it. We talk about Lambda, talk about DynamoDB, and then we did them. And then when we create the Lambda created account, the role that we grant permission to read and write to DynamoDB, and the S3. One more thing, when you sign up with CSV, there are tasks that you need to do that will give you another $1,000, probably $100 bonus, that consumable. But before that, if this video help you, so you can donate some of the $1,000 that will get free to my account. You can PayPal me, or you can GCash me. Again, thank you for watching. Let me just, yeah, that's intriguing. $100 free, where's that? So click on AWS home, and then there should be, when you first sign up, there are tasks that needs to be done, and when you do that task, you get additional bonus. I think it's not the learn fundamentals thing, but yeah, it's done. Can we reset to the default layout? But there should be some things that you should be doing, and then you'll get those additional 100 bonus credit from AWS. I don't know where did it go. I'll probably tell you where it is on the next video. But again, don't forget to sign up with the startup, and I think that was Ignite, to get your $100,000 bonus. So yeah, this is the link, Amazon.com startup, and then activate. So that's all for now, and thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and if you have spare money and you learn a lot from this, so you can donate. Thank you. I'm looking forward for my Starbucks coffee. Thank you for watching.